Hey, Rob Romarino with Century Equipment, and this month's 3-minute tip is going to be centered around the minimum wage increase. So let's get started. Obviously, we have minimum wage help in the ice cream business and the frozen dessert business. And as the minimum wage increases in your area from 9, 10, 11, 12, all the way up to $15, it becomes concerning. How are we going to afford to staff our stores efficiently, still do the business we need to do, and make the profit we need to make, okay? We're not all big box stores. The difference between us making it and not making it sometimes is a thin line. So we need to acknowledge that the minimum wage is going to have an effect. The question is, how do we work around this? Okay, what kind of things can we do proactively and reactively in some areas where minimum wage is already creeping up to combat this increases? First things first, raise your prices. I know it sounds simple, but it's very, very, very important. Just to give you an example, if you have a $250,000 store, let's say it's your ice cream store, your frozen dessert store, that's what you're doing in revenue. If you're running a 20% labor cost, that's pretty good. You're running $50,000 in labor, okay? Essentially at $9 an hour, that's about 5,500 labor hours a year. Well, with a $2 increase, as you go from 10 to 11, that's a $5,500 increase per year in labor costs. Well, at $250,000, you have to raise your prices about 5% to cover those costs, cost plus. So a $4 item goes to $4.20. A $3 item goes to $3.15. Not a huge increase for your customers. Nobody's going to leave you for that. So raising that helps. Cutting hours. Can you shave a half hour a day? Maybe on the front end, maybe on the back end, maybe in the winter hours. Maybe in your early season hours. That can mean 100 to 150 labor hours a year, which is a savings of $500 to $800 a season. Can you hire better? As we pay employees more, we need to get more out of our labor. In this business, you know, a good employee can do the work of 1.5 bad employees, and a great employee can do the work of 2 of them. We need to find the great and the good, and we need to keep them. We're paying enough to keep those people now with the higher minimum wage. So you've got to be cognizant of it. You've got to have the atmosphere to attract and keep the good and great employees. You need to analyze your food costs, okay? Using that $250,000 example, if you're running a 25% food cost, okay, if you cut that 2%, just 2%, that'll save you $5,000. So that saves you $1 an hour labor increase by cutting your food costs by 2%. Either negotiating better, working with your vendors, streamlining your menu. Can you streamline your menu to get rid of the items that maybe take too long that you're not selling to make labor more efficient? And the last thing that we could look at briefly here is online ordering and delivery services. Can we hedge our bets with online ordering, get some of our customers to be our labor force, and use outside vendors like Grubhub and DoorDash to do some delivery service to drive sales outside the window, outside our counter? These are just a few things we can elaborate. We'll be elaborating this. These are just a few things that we can do to help combat the minimum wage, and we'll be touching more about this in our blog upcoming this month. Well, time's up. See you next month.